Hey anyone, I'm Hawk, and let's talk about Doom. So with Doom the Dark Ages having dropped recently, I've gone on a bit of a Doom kick. I haven't bought the new game yet, I will at some point, but I've been instead playing the older games. I replayed Doom 2016, I've gone back and played the OG Dooms, and I'm currently on Doom Eternal as of the creation of this video. Now, I suck at Doom Eternal, and I have gripes with its changes, but I still love the game. I don't think that's a very controversial stance, but I also think Doom 3 is a fucking masterpiece, and that's bound to ruffle some feathers. So Doom 3, both the BFG edition and the original, are amazing horror games. 3 came out back in what I consider the golden age of gaming, the early 2000s. Not only is this time frame nostalgic as hell for me and a lot of other people at this point, but it managed to produce some of the best games ever made, like San Andreas, Need for Speed Underground 2, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, my personal favorites of the series, Halo 2, Half-Life 2, God of War, the first one, Cabela's Big Game Hunter, which yes is stupid, but I've had a damn good time playing that game back then. I wish I could still play it today, but it's buried somewhere with my PS2. Saints Row, and so many more. There are so many incredible games that came out from, let's say, like 2003 to 2012, and Doom 3 is no exception to this. Now, before I get into what I personally love about Doom 3, I want to go over some of the gripes that some other people have with it. And I've always heard people shit on the game, but nobody really gave a reason why they don't like it, at least not as far as I saw without having to go deeper. So I dug in a little bit and found some reasons for the hate from a few different sources. Some people say that they don't like it because it's a horror game, and that Doom isn't inherently a horror game. I think you could argue that, but okay. Some people don't like the mechanics or the controls. Some think it has no Doom-ish identity, which I don't understand that. And there's always going to be people that bitch about Doom games, any Doom game. There's always going to be people that bitch about any game in general. Hell, I've seen people bitching about the new Dark Ages game for having the exact things that they wanted, just not in the exact way that they wanted it. Some people will never be happy, and you're never going to be able to please them, and that's fine, but I personally like every Doom game to date. They all just have their own strengths and weaknesses, and I'm sure I'm going to love Doom the Dark Ages whenever I get around to buying and playing that one too. But when it comes to making a Doom game, what makes it doomy? In my opinion, anything with the name Doom should, at its core, be a sci-fi shooter with horror elements or a horror game with shooter elements. It should involve the UAC or some other evil organization, corporation, or otherwise shitty group of ne'er-do-wells. It should preferably take place on Mars, but it doesn't have to. It definitely needs demons, and it should have the chunkiest of sound design. That's really all there is to it for the most part. Everything else is just extra stuff that would be cool to have. Now, since Doom 2016, we all agree that any Doom game moving forward should have a soundtrack worth dying for. And while the music from the OG Doom was decent, it wasn't something people blasted from their cassette players or Walkmans while working out at the gym or in an actual combat zone. We got blessed by the god among men we plebs call Mick Gordon with the soundtracks to Doom 2016 and Eternal, and we're now spoiled because of it. Doom 3's music is, I'd say, better than OG Doom, but disgusting compared to new Doom. Doom 3 hits most of the things that make a Doom game doomy. It also has a good deal of the beloved demon types that every other Doom game has. While some of these demons look different, some look way fucking better. With that being said, Doom 3 is as much of a Doom game as any other game in the franchise or series, and if you don't agree with that, that's fine. We're all wrong sometimes. Doom 3 is definitely the black sheep of the series, but at its core, it still feels and looks like a Doom game. Think of it as a reimagining or an alternate universe. I'm pretty sure lore-wise it is an alternate universe too, and that alone excuses any inconsistencies or oddities you find within it. I believe that while a franchise name should absolutely come with some expectations, reasonably so, a lot of people seem to think that each new game should just kind of be a carbon copy of whatever came before it. It'd be nice to have an upscaled version of the OG Dooms, but artists detest working on the same thing in the same ways over and over and over again, and that's usually how a franchise dies. It also leaves no room for new interpretations or, new retellings of older stories. I think we needed a Doom 3. The premise of the franchise easily lends itself to horror. A lone soldier trapped in some advanced evil corporation's research facility on Mars that got a little too close to hell due to the hubris and greed of men who went mad well before the demons hit? It's a brilliant premise. Maybe a bit overdone now in 2025, and yeah, most of the story beats are just kind of copied right over from Half-Life for Doom 3 anyway, but it just felt really good to play through something more narrative than gun pew, demon go boom, cue metal riff. One thing I really loved about Doom 3 was the PDAs. Those and the general interactive computer screens literally all over the game. Often you'll find PDAs with videos, audio logs, and email archives that tell the story of what happened leading up to this absolute shit show you find yourself in, and it helps make the world just feel more believable and fleshed out. You also find introduction videos from the company itself, stuff like promos for different science divisions, or introductions or walkthroughs for experimental weapons. It feels like genuine corporate presentation shit, and it feels like something you'd actually find in a facility overrun by demons. The interactivity of the world and the attention to detail just really sell it for me. And it's also scary as fuck. I love horror, and it's hard for me at this point to find horror movies that genuinely scare me, but I am a sucker for horror games. I'm surprised I haven't genuinely shit my pants playing some horror games yet. I am not good at playing these games, I get way too scared, but no matter what, I'll always go back to scary games. And Doom 3 is scary. Irrefutably. Okay? It's scary. Call me a bitch if you want. I just get really immersed and wear headphones and play at night, and shit just scares me, dude. It scares me. Also, Doom 3, from a technical perspective, had to be a horror game because the lighting system sucked ass. And that's right from the devs' mouths, too. So what better way to cover it up than with a low light setting like a horror game? And it worked. They pulled it off. They later cleaned this up a bit for the BFG edition, which is different in a good few ways, but going on with the horror route not only made the game feel different, but it was all around the right choice for the engine and for the time, and it's just what they needed to make as a Doom interpretation. Another thing I've noticed when looking over gripes people have with Doom 3 was that a lot of people seem to bring up the shotgun. Now, I'm not going to say this shotgun is anywhere near perfect. It's not my favorite video game shotgun, that's for sure, okay? But it seems like people just straight up say it's dog shit, and that's just not true at all. The shotgun has a stupid spread past 2 feet. That sucks, sure, but it's not made to use from that far away, which sounds a little weird, but hear me out. Doom 3 is full of tight corridors, small rooms and claustrophobic labs, and, generally confined spaces, and from a gameplay perspective, the shotgun is there to reward you for getting close to an enemy you would otherwise keep your distance from. So, your instinct tells you to get the fuck away, but that shotgun screams, "Bring me in." And the shotgun does definitely reward you getting close to your enemies. It drops most lower level enemies in one hit, and it does devastating damage to higher level enemies. No, it's not realistic, but it's perfectly balanced for the game that it's in. And that kind of leads into another problem. I love Doom Eternal, I really do, but I suck at it. At least for my first few hours, because it's hard for me to get used to having to learn fighting game button combos to stay alive. I get it down, I learn, but the first time I played Doom Eternal, I wasn't willing to learn this shit. It pissed me off. I put the game away and didn't touch it for a year or two. I just wanted to kill demons on my own terms, how I saw fit, but that's not what Doom Eternal is about. Once I got more open to its mechanics, it clicked and I started doing better. Doom 3 is the exact same way. Each weapon has its use and its function, and to try and use it outside of that function will probably get you killed. The game isn't anywhere near as well refined as the gun shit is in Doom Eternal, but it's a similar premise. Yet it seems like most people who probably love Doom Eternal are just unwilling to learn a new system for Doom 3. The last thing I've noticed is that it seems like most people just say Doom 3 is shit, generally speaking, solely because other people say it's shit. It's spread like a disease online, and it's just kind of hooked itself into the minds of most fans and even non-fans alike. Doom 3 equals shit. But that's far from the truth. I bet most people saying that either only played it when it first came out and they were too young to get it, or haven't played it at all. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if most of these people never played Doom 3 whatsoever. It is a Doom game. It's a fucking great game. It's a decent action horror game, and it has a fun story and good environments and interesting gameplay. If it's not your bag, that's okay. Like, you like what you like, dislike what you like, I don't give a shit. But if you say you don't like it or you say it's shit because you can't form your own opinion, that's when I'm going to judge you. At least play the game or do a little more research before you just repeat what other people say just because they're saying it. At least come to the conclusion on your own. But yeah, that's my opinion on Doom 3. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Am I some filthy casual scrub who needs to jump off a bridge? Let me know down below. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.